Where's Tom Ferry? Right here. Episode 200. We've got the best guest.
200.
Best guest ever, Tom Ferry, head coach, great friend of mine. So what I wanted to talk about today is we know that 2022, 2021, I would say are probably the most competitive markets that I've seen since practicing real estate.
Yes.
Way tougher than 2008 because people didn't have as much intent then as they do now.
Yes.
It was about finding motivation versus now you're competing with all these realtors. There's more realtors than ever.
Yep.
There's less inventory, less houses to sell.
But there's actually less people selling houses.
I agree with that. And
so there's way more competition, but there's competition in different sectors. Like there's way more good agents and way more unbelievable teams that have gobbled up all the market share. The MLS, just look inside your MLS, 73.5% of all the volume in 2021, in 2020, done by the top 25% of agents in the MLS.
So everyone should write that down, number one, because you've got to be in the right environment to get business right now. I totally agree with that.
Right brokerage, right team, right marketing, right branding, all the above. Everything's got to be in place.
And if you already have that in place and you're still dealing with all these people that aren't selling real estate or everyone's going after the same listings, what do you recommend to folks now and agents that want to take market share or ramp their business up because it is more competitive than ever?
So I would tell you two things you should all think about. First is stop saying that there's no inventory. We sold nearly 7 million houses in 2021. What we don't have is homes that sit on the market, right? So they come on and they're gone very quickly. So for context, the year prior, we only did like 6.5 million. The year prior, we did 6 million. So there were 7 million homes that were listed for sale. You just didn't get enough of them. So the question is, it's more about execution. And it's also understanding that there's been a shift in consumer behavior just since the pandemic. So if you go back to like 2017, 2018, 2019, we were watching the amount of business coming from agents' database, right? The know, like, and trust you database was declining dramatically. Now, two reasons. First, massive increase in agents, and of course, the massive increase in arbitrage businesses that were marketing more effectively than agents to actually get consumers to go to their website and do something else. So we were seeing repeat and referral drop. Well, what happened during the pandemic? We saw a massive flight to trust, a massive flight to quality, not just with agents, but with everything. You know that I'm an investor in multiple companies. One of them is Spirits Company, new tequila company, unbelievable product. But guess what? Did nothing in 2020 because people went to brands that they already know, like, and trust. We've seen the same exact thing in real estate. So there's one thing, in my experience, every agent needs to do. Should we talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's what people want to know. They want to know how to execute. And I agree with you totally that you got all the arbitrage in the funnel business. They're going to be there. They're going to do their thing.
They're not going anywhere.
How do you protect your database? How do you protect the people you've already got relationships with, which we've talked about a lot? So what's that strategy? Because that's something anybody can do. And that's the thing about this. It's not, you don't have to be a high-producing agent. You don't have to be someone that has all this business for years and years. You can do this right now, whether you're a new agent, whether you're a couple years in, or whether you've been doing it 20 plus like me.
So I'm gonna give you two answers because you know, as a longtime friend, a longtime client, someone that's built an unbelievable brand and business, and you've scaled tremendously. You got to have some fundamentals in place. You got to have a social presence. You got to be on every major website. You got to Google My Business, Google Business Page. You got to be on Zillow, Realtor. You got to be on everywhere because everywhere people are going online first. And if you don't show up, you don't exist. So that's the first one. Second thing is people have completely missed the mark on email marketing. If you are creating content, if you are a trusted advisor, you put out a weekly email to your database just to stay top of mind. So I can find you everywhere. I'm getting an email. You're sending me some form of direct mail once a month to your database. And some of this will get you business. But what it mainly does is they're like, oh, that's right, Tom Toole's my real estate agent. Right? If we just have that, then when we do a campaign like this, you get a massive, massive number of appointments and opportunities.
I love what you're talking about here because a lot of people just want to send the mail, send the email, but you've got to put some gas on the fire here, whether
100%.
It's calls or what we're going to talk about here.
Right.
Because if you don't go out and reach out and convert, or at least have that touch, right? Have that communication. And your office does this with me where it's, hey, everything okay with your account? How's it going with your coach? Like that stuff means a lot because that's what people really want. They want that one-to-one interaction despite everyone saying we're in this virtual world right now. It's still physically enhanced.
Yes. And the audacity to think that you could be in this business and not understand the importance of trust and brand and how the only way to scale your brand today is by hitting all those vehicles plus video, which you have done a remarkable job now. 3 different shows that you're doing, right? So all those things. So I know if you're watching this, you're like, but I don't want to do video. No one cares. And if you don't do it, it's completely fine. But every data point you read today says 81% of consumers make their decision after they watch a video. So if I go to your website and I can't watch a video on how you serve buyers, what do you know about the area? What are the communities that you serve? What are 5 or 6 things I need to know about selling my house? If I can't watch those videos, first of all, if I get to your site because you drove me there or an ad or whatever it was, and I don't see a video, I bounce. But it's not just me. It's 81% of consumers. So if you think, well, I'll just focus on the 19, you have other issues. So I'm not trying to be offensive to your audience. I just want people to get, no one cares about your concerns. The only thing that matters is what matters to buyers and sellers and your customers and your database. We're all living on this. You got to be here. So here's the campaign that's killing.
Give it to us.
If you pulled out your phone right now, you go to your contacts. If you're on Apple phone, you hit the pound sign at the bottom. It takes you all the way to the bottom. It shows you, like for me, 6,554 people, right? All of the numbers show that 6 to 7% of every person in your phone is thinking about selling right now. Let me say it to you again. So if you have 100 people, you have 6 to 7 sellers right now on your phone. 200, you got 12 to 14. You just continue to do the math. I was doing this recently, and one of my clients, you know him, DJ, he's like,
yes.
well, I have 140,000 people in my database. I said, that's a lot of sellers.
Yeah.
Now the question is, what is the single easiest, most effective campaign that you can do something every single day that takes you just a few minutes that would get you, after 16 and a half tries, 1 listing appointment? Should we give them that?
Yeah, I mean, this is what people need to know, because you're absolutely right. Realtor.com came out with some data earlier in the year that there's 16% of the whole population is thinking about moving in the winter, and then there's more thinking about moving later. So these are big numbers.
Right, and I'm doing the conservative 6 to 7%, right? Just based upon thousands of people calling and doing everything we're talking about. This one, though, is going to activate it. Here is a nutshell. You ready? We call it the CMA A Day Campaign. So imagine you sold me a house 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You say that you're my trusted advisor. You send me some email now and then, maybe some direct mail, maybe you invite me to something. But what do I want to know? Every homeowner wants to know 3 things. And if you don't address these 3 things, you're not relevant. They want to know, what's the value of my house? Do you want them to go to Zillow, or should they get it from you? You decide. Second thing.
By the way, if they go to Zillow, you might have to pay a referral fee on your client.
Right.
Just let's get that out there.
Right.
Keep going.
Second thing they want to know is, do I have the right interest rate? So there's 138 million homes in the U.S. 40% of them have no mortgage. So of the remaining balance, 78, 81, whatever the number is, half of them have an interest rate higher than 3.5%. Can you believe that?
I mean, I can, because I'm in this industry, but that's shocking to me, given interest rates, and now they've gone up a little bit.
2.25.
Yeah.
We hit the bottom for the masses at 2.65 almost a year ago. We're at 3.5. We're clearly going to 3.7, maybe as high as 4. Right. By the way, that's a good sign, right? Because that means the economy is good.
Yes.
But the other half then have that lower interest rate. So, as an agent today, if you're not reaching out and saying, what's your interest rate? Have you taken the time to talk to your bank? Have you taken the time to talk to a lender? See which one can get you a better rate. But the third thing they all want to discuss is, what's your future plans for this home?
Yep.
You have 3 kids. What's your future plan for this home? Is this the forever home? Is this the next move home? Is this I bought my first house, now I'm moving up? And again, if you're not addressing those 3 issues in email, in video, in text, in conversation, in phone calls, and everything, smoke signals, I don't care. Are you really relevant? They're going to find the information. The question is, do you want to get it from you, or do you want to have them get it from somebody else, right? Or another website. So here's the campaign I recommend. It addresses the very first issue and kind of the third issue. So we call it the CMA A Day Campaign. There's 3 parts to it. If you don't do all 3, it's not effective. You have to do all 3, right? It's kind of
all
like
the above.
It's like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? Like, hey, it didn't work. Well, what'd you do? I took the peanut butter, I put it on the plate, then I put the bread down, then I put jelly on my forehead, and then you had all the elements, but you didn't do it in order.
Yes.
You got to do it in the right order. So ready? Here's the order. Create a list of people that you want to send a CMA to. 100, 200, 300, 500, whatever you want to do. I recommend 1 a day. If you can get to 2 a day, it gets really busy real fast. I got clients that are doing 3 a day, but they have an assistant, a marketing director, so they can get it done. Here's all it is. You build a CMA. It's an email format. You email it to the client. Subject line, best email you will receive this year. Hey, Tom and Bridget. Congratulations, I was taking a couple minutes thinking about your house that I sold you guys 9 years ago. OMG, Have you seen the values and what's happened? From what I can determine, without looking at your home is now worth $275,000 more than what you guys paid for it 9 years ago. I'm going to call you tomorrow because I want to know, have you upgraded the kitchen? Have you done something to the bathrooms? We had talked about finishing the basement when I sold you the house. I don't know if you've done it yet. All of those things could make the home worth astronomically more. I'll call you tomorrow. Now, inside of that email, you also do this. Hey, Tom and Bridget, Tom Ferry, Banana Real Estate. This email that I'm sending you today is going to be the best email you've received all year. Your home has gone up so much in value. I'm going to call you tomorrow because I want to make sure that if there's something I missed or something you've added to the house, that I add that into because that's going to improve the value. So I'll call you tomorrow. Now, video and email ideally is sent together, 1-2 punch.
Yep.
Then what do?
You call them tomorrow.
Hey, Tom, it's Tom Ferry over at Banana Real Estate. What's going on, man?
How are you?
How about that price?
I mean, I was a little shocked.
How about that price, Tom? You were shocked?
Yeah, moving's not on our radar right now.
Yeah?
I know when the kids get older, that could be something we think about, but I wasn't paying attention because I'm not in that mindset. So that's
right.
Bananas.
So let me ask you a different question. If you guys aren't thinking about selling your house, have you guys refinanced to the right rate?
What do you mean?
Well, what's your interest rate today?
3.875, 4%. I'd have to look at the mortgage.
Wait, who do you bank with?
Customers Bank.
Customers Bank. Okay, so two things. I'm going to have my lender, his name is Phil. He's going to call you today. I guarantee he's going to get you a lower rate. Because if this is a not a forever house, but it's at least a 7 to 10, 15-year house. To get you on a better mortgage rate, it's just going to save you some money. So think about it. You're saving money and your home is going up in value. Like, I'm not a magician. This is just the way of the world today. So I'm going to have him call you, but I do want you to get a second opinion from your bank because oftentimes if you have enough assets at your bank, they will give you an infinitely lower rate because you're one of their banking customers.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm going to call you. I'm going to call Phil. I'm going to text you and Phil so you guys can all connect.
Perfect.
And then I'm going to call you next week to make sure that you are in process because it is stupid if you're paying at 3.875, like you have a horrible rate.
Sounds like we're wasting some money, Tom.
You are. Hey, Tom, before I let you go, are you happy?
I'm really happy you called because we're going to be saving some money here.
Right. And was this one of the better emails and phone calls you received this year?
It was pretty good. I don't like email in general, so this was some value finally.
So this was good. Okay, so if there's anybody else that I should send something like this to, just send me an email and let me know.
Okay.
I would really appreciate it.
I'll talk to a couple buddies for sure.
Cool, man. And hey, say hi to Bridget, say hi to the kids, right? We'll see you around town. And that's it. That's it. 1, 2, 3. So here's the data. Every 16.5 people, I don't know who gets the half, right? Like, I don't even know what that means.
I didn't know you could have half a seller.
That's the data, right? Well, you start doing hundreds and hundreds, right?
Yes.
So every 16.5, one person raises their hand and says, yeah, actually, we're thinking about selling. Right? Now, it doesn't mean you get the listing. You still got to be competitive, but so much of your show is helping him do that.
Yes.
But at least you're in the game. So I promise you, if you just take from this message, 138 million homes, 40% paid off, half the remaining have an interest rate higher than 3.5. Every consumer wants to know, do I have the right rate? What should I be thinking about with this house? What are my long-term plans? What are my goals? And how much is my home worth? You answer those, you are relevant.
Think about this, though. This is a value-driven call. At no point did he say, hey, are you thinking about selling? Or hey, are you moving? It's, hey, I want to help you save some money. Here's some good information. And that's what customers want, and that's what consumers want from their trusted advisor, which a lot of agents don't get. But if you're watching this show, you understand.
You get it.